Are you using a USB mic for your voiceover business? So here's the thing you got to ask yourself about using a USB mic for voiceover. The fundamental question is, what is your competition using? Is your competition using USB mics? Or is your competition using things like the TLM 103, the Sennheiser 416? Are they using XLR type microphones? Because if they are, they're going to be perceived to be a much higher, more professional voiceover than someone that uses a USB mic. And the reality about the voiceover business is that perception is 9/10, right, of the law. Perception is what's going to get you your jobs. If you look the part, if you sound the part, and if you can be the part, you are the part. I just watched a video online, and the gentleman that was speaking was basically saying that you can do the same thing with a USB mic, such as a Blue Yeti, that you can with a TLM 103. And I'm just going to have to disagree with that. There is no way that you can compete on that kind of level. That's, with someone that's invested, what, 20 grand into a voiceover business. If you're just going and doing voiceover as a side hustle, yeah, a USB mic, a Blue Yeti, it's going to work fine for you. But if you're really looking to establish yourself as a business, if you want to really have a voiceover business, you have to invest in the gear that a business like voiceover needs. There's a reason why XLR mics are much more expensive. There's a reason why professional voiceover artists that have a business use XLR mics. And I find it very interesting that the same people that are saying, oh, you can do the same thing with a USB mic than you can with an XLR mic, right? If you really look at what they have XLR mics, right? If you could do the same thing, right, with either mic, then why would they get the more expensive microphone? It just doesn't make any sense. Gary Vee said something a while back that really hit home. And he said, don't worry about I'm paraphrasing. He says, don't worry about what he says. Watch what he does, right? And I would encourage any new voiceover artist or anybody out there seeking to learn more about voiceover or audiobook narration to really watch what these people do as opposed to what they say. Look in their videos, right? What are they broadcasting on? Is it a $1,000 microphone? Or is it a $50 or $100 Blue Yeti? Watch what people do and pay less attention to what people say. Because everybody's trying to hustle everybody else, right? In all reality, these individuals that are online, especially on YouTube here, are your competition, right? But because maybe they're in the business for a while and they built up some following, they have a certain amount of clout, right? But what does that really, how are they using that? Are they leading people down the straight and narrow? Or are they telling people a bunch of BS? Again, watch what people do and compare it to what they say. Do they match up? Do they mesh? Because if they don't, then there's a fundamental integrity issue there. that you really need to be mindful of and careful of. Because you don't want to sit there and waste your time watching videos from people putting out garbage and just, quite honestly, bad information. Again, watch what people do. So, I mean, really, what is audio-wise? Is it the same? No, not at all. The lines for the XLR cables are balanced, right? The lines for USB mics are not balanced. They go directly into the computer, laptop, or whatever other device. And there's a lot more electrical interference that happens, right, with a USB mic as compared to an XLR mic. Again, what do professionals use, right? What do business professionals use in the voiceover industry? Every single one of them uses an XLR mic, right? So if you're aspiring to be a professional voiceover artist that has a business, again, it's a business, then you need to up your game and invest in the appropriate gear necessary. Like, the greatest voiceovers that are out there can only be so good with a crappy environment or shoddy equipment. You know, again, what do professionals use? Just look and see what people are using. Is it still recording, I wonder? I don't know. Okay, so it's still recording. That's kind of crazy. All right, so I'm back. But again, I apologize for ranting, but this is just one of those subjects, right, where I see voiceover artists that are out there on YouTube that are speaking on things and their actions don't match up with their words, right? Every single professional voiceover artist uses a voiceover mic. I'm not saying you can't make money on a USB mic, right? By all means, use whatever you have, right? And go from there. My wife put it best. Do what you can do when you can do it, right? And with what you have. So use the tools that you have, but as soon as you possibly can, invest in better equipment. Invest in perfecting your studio environment. Okay, so before I end this video, I want to do a summary of the reasons not to use a USB mic if you're a professional voiceover artist. The number one is being a professional means you have the right gear, the right training to do the right job right the first time around. That can't be overstated here. So I want you to keep that in mind as you move forward in your voiceover career. The second major one is competition. Your competition is not using a USB mic. You know, just look around. What does your competition use? I seriously doubt your competition is going to be using a USB mic. It may happen, but not likely. Third is industry standards demand using an XLR mic. Could you imagine a professional singer using a USB mic? I mean, the very thought is preposterous. It's absurd, right? So why do we, as voiceover artists, think we can get away with using a USB mic? Right? If we are a professional voiceover talent, then we need to use what the industry standards demand, which is an XLR mic. Right? Like when your clients ask you, hey, what mic are you using? Do you really want to tell them that you're using a USB mic? Like, yeah, man, I got that Blue Yeti. Yeah. How do you think the audio engineer on the other end or your client is going to feel about that? You know, you need to think about the perception once again about how you will be perceived by your clients. Because this is the difference between getting business and not getting business. And if you do get business, it's the difference between getting reoccurring business and no business in the future from these clients. So something to really, really consider. Fourth, you should invest in your business. Now, I know I harped on this pretty good here already in the video, But I really, again, just before closing, want to encourage you to invest in your voiceover business, whether that's with the gear, whether that's with the training. The two go hand in hand, right? You need both to be successful. Just think about it. Like, there's such a perception of ease of access to enter into a voiceover career that isn't really accurate. If you are starting any business, whether it's a brick or mortar business, whether it's a dental school, whatever it is, right? You're going to need to invest in the equipment to get the job done that you need to get done. Think about like a construction worker or a carpenter, right? If he doesn't have the appropriate tools, he's never going to get whatever the project is done. And the same can be said for those in voiceover. You might be able to grab a hammer, which might be the equivalent to a USB mic, and get some things nailed up. But at the end of the day, you want to build a house that you can be proud of. You want to build a voiceover business that you can be proud of. Again, going back to the grandma rule, is your grandma going to look at your voiceover business or how you're operating your voiceover business and say, "Good job, Sonny"? Like, how would your grandma perceive how you're running your business, right? Just something to think about there. Again, use what you got right now, but always upgrade your gear as fast as possible. Price should not be a factor at this point. There are several very good, reasonably priced XLR mics out there, and you can get very stable, decent audio interfaces for very cheap. The Focusrite is a great example of that. You get a Focusrite and a solid, XLR mic, and you're on your way to voiceover success. This video has been very challenging. I have spent probably about 45 minutes dealing with QuickTime and some video issues. Audio I got down. Video I'm still working on, so bear with me. I hope you got some value out of this video. I hope that, again, you're not taken advantage of, and that you really put forth your best effort in your voiceover career. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hey, do me a favor real quick while you're here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There are 3 ways you can go ahead and subscribe. Inside of the video, on the main page, and in the channel art. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that'll notify you of all the videos I put out or if I go live. I'll see you in the next video.